pleasure to introduce Tom and Rosemary Daly. Give it up for the Dalys. Tom, let's, first of all, welcome to the show. Let's go back to the history of the John Daly Swim. How did it get started here in Long Beach?
It originated as a tribute to my father, who had worked for 45 years as a lifeguard in Long Beach. And when he passed away, he just came up with an idea of a swimming event. And at one time we had a lifeguard race of a mile, so we decided on the mile. And so that's the way it started 23 years ago. And it's evolved and it's gotten bigger and bigger over the years. And then 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago, my brother passed away at age 62. Rather young, well-built, great shape. Turns out it was a heart attack and continuation. So now we just using a Daly Swim in terms of incorporating both. Both first names were John also. So it's a continuation, and the numbers seem to be growing. We did decide last year to change and bring the date up a little bit to the 21st, and one of the reasons was to try and reduce the number of cases where we would run into tropical storms and hurricanes with rush surf. And it's grown to a point, this year we had 208
swimmers.
And that's where it's evolved to.
Rosemary, talk about, it's such a great event that you now give out a scholarship. We have a young man, Pat Flynn, who's a lifeguard here. Talk about how you decided to give a scholarship and why Pat Flynn was the recipient of this great scholarship.
Sure, Howie. How it started was a few years ago when we started making a little bit of money extra. We decided that we wanted to give the lifeguard, the senior lifeguard who was graduating from high school, an opportunity to explain, like in an essay, to write about how lifeguarding had influenced their lives. And we did it with the Michael Kiefer Awards also. And what we try to do is, fundraise and get some money and get some local sponsors to help the kids with college, because we know that these kids, they can't work two jobs once they're doing lifeguarding because they're so tired all from a full day. So that's how that came about. And through fundraising, through getting sponsors, we get money. Some people donate, people that knew John help us for that cause. And so Pat this year wrote a fabulous essay. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could just cry when you read it. He had been one of our junior lifeguards. He had been in the junior lifeguard since he was 10 years old. And we saw him evolve as a young man, and he just really emulated what we think that John would have liked in a human being and in a lifeguard. Pat emulates that so many ways. He's kind, he's considerate, he's smart, he's very attentive to his job. He works hard at it, and he has feeling and emotions. He wrote beautiful things about the Michael Kiefer. He's done that triathlon himself, which is a paddle, a run, and a swim, to honor Michael Kiefer. And we just felt that he had the best essay and was our proudest person to give it to, especially that he had been in our junior lifeguard program for so many years.
Excellent. Pat, why don't you talk about the essay and talk about what the scholarship meant to you, getting it from the Daly family?
Well, I would like to thank the Dalys so much for rewarding me the scholarship, and I want to thank them for the junior lifeguard program and everything it's done. And it's such a ripple effect of teaching kids how to swim in the ocean and help them, and then those kids can help others, and it really turns out into helping hundreds and hundreds of people. And I absolutely love doing all the races. The Michael Kiefer and the John Daly are great, and like starting out with the Michael Kiefer when he's standing at the starting line, and Councilman McLaughlin talks to you about Michael's story and how they were debating on whether to go in on September 11th or to take the day off and go surfing. And just ask that everybody remember Michael while you're surfing, and I always will, and I'll always go back for those races because they're a lot of fun, and it's just remembering important people that made a huge impact on this community. And yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of thought and preparation went into that essay.
Absolutely. It wasn't too difficult to write it because there's so much to write about that's it just goes throughout the whole year of great things that this community has to offer.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was great. And Rosemary, I want to talk about let's give some credit to the men and the women who won the race. Because it was very competitive and very close, and it was thrilling watching them come out of the water. But let's give kudos to the people who won the events, and also the alumni winners as well.
Well, we had Tom O'Neill and Pat Kilgallen and Justin Cesario that came within a minute of each other. Tom O'Neill is an outstanding swimmer. I believe he's a senior at Xavier High School, and he is on his way to some very, very big things. Actually, Tom O'Neill is 21. Pat Kilgallen is 17. He's a senior at Xavier. And Tom O'Neill did a time of 18:36. He was just flying, and Pat Kilgallen was right behind him. But then Justin Cesario, one of our lifeguards, was 35 years old, was 21:07. So Justin is a swim coach up at Great Neck and has been a competitor his whole life. In that whole the first 10, one was Jessica Lester, who had a time of 22:05, and I believe she's a senior at New Falls, and her whole family, Roy Lester and my mother Nancy Lester, all swam in that. So we had wonderful lifeguards doing it. We had John Scudin, who is also one of our senior men. He did it in 21:49. He is the swim coach in Long Beach. And so we're really, really proud of all the lifeguards that came out. We had Justin Cesario in first, Tim Cappuccino in second, and John Scudin third as the overall male lifeguards. We also added an alumni grouping this year. And our females, our winner was Jessica Lester as our overall lifeguard. In the alumni area, we had Morgan Ayres, Robert Hess, and Tom Carey. We had both Tiny and Morgan are from Long Beach. Morgan's sister, Miranda, won in the female alumni winners. And in that female also was, just find my list right here, I think we had Kelly Healy, Kimberly White, and Miranda Ayres. So we're starting to get more alumni to come out, and that's what we're trying to do is to get these. This Kim Bondurian, who used to be, she does triathlons and also was our Ironwoman in the junior lifeguards. So we're seeing some of our younger kids, Morgan and Miranda, also a part of our junior program. Tommy Carey, all his children have gone through our junior lifeguards and lifeguards. Connor Carey swam in it, his youngest son, who was 16. We have James Canner, lifeguard, also 16. So we're starting to see a lot of the 16-year-olds swim in the ocean. And Howie, the ocean swimming is much different than pool swimming. I mean, you can be a great pool swimmer, but not necessarily an ocean swimmer. You get out in that ocean, you've got the tides, you've got currents, you've got waves, you've got a lot of different factors. So the fact that, we had 223 people sign up, 208 completed the swim was a fabulous, fabulous tribute to us.
Rosemary, if I'm not mistaken, weren't you a teacher in Levittown?
Yes, I was.
I think that one of Rosemary's most famous students is here tonight. Can we bring in Tommy Monday? Tommy, what are your memories of Rosemary Daly, your most favorite teacher ever in the Levittown School District?
Well, with the crew that she hung out with, Phil Wolf, Doug Robbins, and Nikki Blitzes, she was the nicest person I ever met in my life. But anyway, she was always great, Miss Daly. Her and Bobby Bromberg, right?
That's right.
What a great crew. What a great time. Hard, but hard in a good way. We were raised the right way.
Did a lot of dancing too.
Anyway, it was great. It was great.
Tommy, you're wearing a good shirt tonight.
We're getting ready for the Michelle O'Neill coming up very shortly, Howie. It's going to be great between the Quicksilver and the Michelle O'Neill. Long Beach is the place to be for the next month.
All right, let's give it up for the John Daly swim. Let's give it up for John Daly, Tom Daly, Rosemary Daly, and our scholarship winner, Pat Flynn. All right, we are going to take a break, and after the break, we're going to introduce all our new segments on the show, so keep it locked here, 12:40 a.m., broadcasting on the beach with Halftime Howie from the prestigious law offices of Pectic and Schaefer, the Wild West End of Long Beach. Beach on Long Island's first and oldest radio station, WILS.